NewJeans. Welcome back to Y'all Hearing This. My name is Kay. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us. Sorry, I don't really need headphones on.
I know, I was just thinking that. I was like, why do I have my headphones still on? Hey, y'all. My name is Honeybee, or you can call me B. And whichever you choose is all right with me. Welcome back to this week's
podcast.
Yeah.
And we got the extras.
Yeah. Got to do the dramatic, especially when we're talking about girl groups, darling. It's all about the dramatic.
That's very true. That's very true. Especially this one that we have both really been loving.
Listen.
Yeah. I
might need to get a new pair myself, girl. Look, we both gonna have to get a new pair soon.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? We talking about NewJeans. Yes.
Yeah, we have been absolutely loving everything we're hearing from them.
Yeah.
So every Wednesday, just to catch everybody up, we focus on one group or artist a week. We do a couple MVs, we do dance practice live, we do a guide, and we do the podcast. So we hope you join us for all those other things over on our YouTube if you're listening to this.
Yes, please do.
Link in the description. But yeah, we just watched a guide, which was cute, and I love them because they're such a great way to get to know them.
I was just about to say, if you want to explain kind of like what guides are for anybody who's like listening for the first time or like.
So they're fan made, and which I think is amazing too.
Yes.
Because obviously you have to love the group to do it. And they just take different clips. Usually it gives a little information about the group as a whole. And then it will take it and usually go member by member and give you just little tidbits. Usually like ages, positions in the group. And then the good ones anyway, give you a little behind the scenes content. Kind of show you more of their personalities and things like that, which I love those.
I can't even imagine just kind of thinking about somebody making a guide. Like just the experience that we both have experienced, within our own editing portfolios.
Yeah, exactly. But mine is very simple compared to that.
Like I really sit here and be thinking like, oh my God, like to invest that much time into a group that's actually like brand new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think that's pretty dope. And it also, kind of, I guess showcases the admiration and to what they offer. Yeah, which I think is dope. But I was like, sometimes I'll be watching these guys and I'll be like, wait a minute. I'm like, I know I have a whole bachelor's degree in digital art and multimedia design. I can't even do it. I'm like,
no, just the amount of work it must take. Like, it's just truly, it's really cool. And
it's inspiring.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we always, in our guide videos, link to the original ones. Because please go give them all the love.
And shout out to, I believe her name was Irene. I believe it was Irene. So. Yeah. And if I'm wrong, Irene, girl, my bad. But that was super dope. One of the things that I really like, and I had said this, in our guide reaction, was like the girls, it's so random now for us, like when it comes to like us being in the US and with, within Western music or however you want to categorize it, worldly music, we'll say that. Okay. It's been so long since we've seen acts start out super young and then go like it made me, it would make me think of JoJo or even New Kids on the Block.
I even equated it to like Taylor Swift or like Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Beyonce was 15. You know what I mean? These groups, like we haven't seen that like start of somebody at that age in a really, really long time. So I think that's the thing that caught me was watching their guide was like, oh my God, like...
Yeah, one of them's 14. The oldest isn't even... is turning 19
in like a couple of months. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just like...
It's so talented.
It's so inspiring.
And that they're out there and they're able to like pursue their dreams at such a young age is so cool, And
it makes, what it does? It makes me happy because I feel like, as you get older, you have those moments where you're like, shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's like, I wish I would have did that. I wish I would have did this. Or I wish this was available at that time and that was available. And it's so dope to see these newer generations taking advantage of that, especially ones that are truly talented and truly love music and what they do, or even if it's not music, just seeing somebody young pursue and have the avenue and tools to do that now in this day and age.
Yeah.
I think it's so inspiring, and it makes it so if you have been on the other side where you have gone through the BS of trying to start or do anything, specifically talking about music, it gives you hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it makes you also feel like, you know what, I had to deal with that BS, or I dealt with the craziness during, you know, our time at that same age, and now to see that it's changed, okay, we're going in a good direction.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that was my biggest takeaway from watching them, or like the first takeaway from the guide. And then obviously the love they have for each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that was really nice to see. And we were kind of talking about this a little bit in the guide, but for 5 teenage girls, it's very good that they have love for each other.
Okay! Listen.
Let me tell you.
I was going to ask you, as a woman, can you break down because clearly, listen, I am LGBTQIA+. I basically consider myself a woman, period. No, but in all seriousness, I grew up a whole teenage boy. So, I don't know, mentally what's going on as girls at that age. But from what I've seen, I was kind of shocked. Because I was like, wow, they really get along.
Well, first of all, I think there's a bit of a culture difference, as we've talked about before. So just kind of that respect is kind of inherent, I feel like, in a lot of them. A couple of them were Australian, too. So that must be like a new experience coming in, too.
My awful attempt at an Australian accent.
That's okay, me too. But I think with one of them being like a couple years younger, that's a good dynamic, too, because then they kind of take care of her a little bit. You know what I mean? But I mean... There's only 5 of them. So, I think if there's 20, there might be a little more cause for maybe some, spats or whatever.
Right.
But I mean, I think it's tough because you're trying to, I think it's got to be especially tough being in a group like that because you have to kind of fit the image of the group. You know what I mean? But then you're also kind of discovering yourself and figuring out who you are. I mean, so far it seems like who they are is kind of their image, you know what I mean? And I don't think Hybe is one to be no, you have to be super sweet all the time, or you know what I mean? The company, I don't think they'd be that way. But yeah, it's got to be super tough growing up in just the public eye like that. So, yeah, I mean, I am very thankful that I'm old enough that I grew up in my high school years were before social media.
Listen, come on, somebody. Well,
yeah, I am super happy about that. And those girls have a camera in their face 24/7 almost, So it's got to be tough, but they do seem pretty down to earth, and they do all seem like they genuinely care for each other. And that's at the end of the day, that's what the takeaway is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can have your little spats or whatever, and I mean, I don't even know if that's what happens. I just I know
disagreements, the typical.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, never mind just being in a group. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Difference of opinions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all seem to really care for each other, and I mean, typical teen girl stuff, I'm sure. You could see them kind of messing around and whatever in one of those clips, But yeah, it's got to be tough, but we were talking about this, I believe, with Itzy maybe, how them doing this is kind of like someone training for the Olympics, them going through the training program, them doing this, they're pursuing their dreams, and this is how they're pursuing their dreams, and that's part of it,
I want to know, I'm actually interested to know, and I don't know if it said it in the video, it said the debut, but it didn't say, I don't think it said when they actually signed or when they started. Yeah, no, it doesn't usually go into, but I'm sure they were probably, at least some of them were probably trainees for a bit. Because I was looking, because it showed, I think it was the last member, the youngest member, that they showed her doing a dance practice or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if she was, it said something at the beginning of her part, and I'm sorry I didn't pause it. It said something, she was something about
so there's this group called Girls' Generation that was older, and it says something about her being in like the junior group of that or something. So, but I don't think it's the same company. But yeah, it seemed like she'd been, because she was modeling and all sorts of stuff. So it seemed like she'd been pretty like active. Yeah, for a bit. Yeah,
because that was my biggest thing, was like, I wonder how long they trained before.
Yeah, I think it really all depends on them, the company, you know, like if they find like a good team together, they might debut someone a little earlier. But then it can be like, look, we were talking about this another time too, but Sean was there, 7-8 years? Yeah. You know, so sometimes it can be a super long time too.
It could be a minute.
Yeah. And it just, but thank goodness he did wait that long, because now we have Stray Kids. You know?
Yep.
So it's just all.
And look at how they perform.
Yep. Exactly.
You know what I mean? I actually was really interested, because we haven't listened to every NewJeans song yet. I was really. Like, they played a little sample of the songs off their EPs.
Cookie and Her. Those sounded good.
Those look so good. And the up-tempo version of Ditto, because we watched
the It's Live version.
Live version. And that was definitely super dope. A video you should definitely check out.
Yeah, we're just saying.
It makes me excited. And I don't know, there's just something that's literally like, when I hear the word, that's what I wanted to bring up too, is like NewJeans, right? Just seeing those previews of their songs, it makes me excited because it's something new and fresh. And it's so dope because the song, the group name, NewJeans, it makes me literally think of that feeling when you buy a pair of new jeans and they fit perfectly and they're like everything. Like, I did not realize how, like, you don't realize how just something like that can completely just give you a whole vibe and a whole mood. Like, there's something that comes with buying new clothes and buying new jeans, putting them on, they're fitting perfectly. You can be stressed out about like your weight. You can be stressed out about lifestyle, all this other stuff.
Yep.
And those jeans fit.
Yep.
Everything else is out the window.
My roommate actually does this thing on his half birthday every year, where he goes and he gets a pair of Lucky jeans.
His half birthday?
His half birthday every year.
On the 6-month mark?
Yep.
What's that about?
It's just like a little ritual he does, you know?
I wonder what started it. It's like sisterhood of the traveling pants. Like, oh, let's buy this pair of jeans that all fit us. Yeah. Even though one of us is a size 0 and the other one's probably like a 6. Like, this is awesome.
Right. I know.
Hey, if it worked, it worked.
Yeah. I know, but I just love that there's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a great, you know, because it just makes him feel good. And that's what he does.
Yeah.
So, hey, cool.
That's super dope. I wonder. Oh, see, now I gotta get in on that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it'll make him win the lottery or something, girl. You know what I'm saying? I have to do that.
Whatever is gonna.
Get a man. Hey.
You can keep the men.
She said, I don't want those jeans.
We'll take a pair of culottes. I'll take a jean skirt. How about that?
Oh my god. I can't. I'm not a skirt, bitch. That's good. That just made me that instantly brought me to like, hi, I'll be your notary today.
Oh my goodness.
I live. Well, listen. That was such a dope. That was a whole really, really dope guide. It was super cool.
No, it was super informative.
Yes. And if you guys didn't get a chance to watch it, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
So you can definitely be more informed of all things NewJeans. And I think, is that a good time to segue?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because we can segue right into this new little thing that we do called Bees Nectar of the Week. Yeah.
Theme song will change every week.
Right, it really will. That's because we are vocalists, okay?
We're something.
But basically what it is we're gonna, I'm gonna...
What? I'm sorry, I'm so close. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Look, she gonna give me a fat cramp. Keep playing around. I'm like, ooh.
Bees Nectar of the Week.
Yeah! Bees Nectar of the Week is, I can't believe I just said you could give me a fat crib. I'm dead. I'm dead. That's a whole, I swear that's a whole Rhode Island thing. I don't know if that's like a everywhere thing. So I'm going to break that down real quick because it's our podcast. We can do what we want. Right. A fat crib is for all my big plus thickum peoples. Sometimes if you laugh too much, you might get a little cramp somewhere that you didn't even know there was the muscle there. You might be wait, what's that? No, but in all seriousness, B's Nectar of the Week is a section where I'm just going to give you guys some suggestions of, let's say, U.S., American, worldly, Western music, however you want to categorize it, but basically giving you the alternative version to the K-pop group and, you know, just another style of music that reminds me of the group we're talking about that week.
Some recommendations, some
suggestions, all that great stuff.
Exactly.
So,
I'm super excited to see who you picked for this.
You know,
I know you really, really are liking NewJeans, so I was like, I can imagine it's going to be a good one.
It was hard because I was really going back and forth with who they remind me of. And I instantly thought of this group because this group, I remember watching them, which is actually interesting because I used, let me say this without giving anything away. So I used a group in a previous B's Nectar of the Week that was created the same way.
Yep.
And so when I was going back and forth, I could not stop but thinking about this one group. And the reason I went to this group is because they all started very young. They were put together and they were basically, I guess the difference or the similarity is that they basically their whole journey as a group together was broadcast everywhere. Gotcha. So like, just like how in the guide, we noticed how like they're being filmed and, you know, they're young or whatever. It was like that kind of same idea of watching them develop and watching NewJeans develop and all the different things they've been doing. The same thing with this group. So the group that I chose is a group called Little Mix.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
English group, right? From
a British girl group. So let me break it down for you guys, give you guys all of the details and the different songs and all that great stuff. So Little Mix is a British girl band consisting of members Leanne, Jade, Perry, and Jesse. Okay. And the group was has collaborated with numerous artists, including Jason Derulo, Machine Gun Kelly, Missy Elliott, CNCO, Stormzy, and Camille.
I was gonna say Kim's daughter or no, Kylie's daughter, right?
Yeah, right. Stormy. I'm dead. They would do collabs while she was in the womb. Right. The sonogram was never mind. I'm just gonna let it go. That was even gonna be funny. The group found fame on X Factor season 8. They auditioned separately, but were put together in a group by Kelly Rowland. Oh, nice. So let me tell you why that's special is because Kelly Rowland is a part of Destiny's Child. So I love the fact that if there was any person to put a girl group together, I love the fact that it was her because she knew blends and she
lives it. Yes. You know?
Yes. And they ended up becoming the first ever girl group to win X Factor, period. Oh, nice. Ever. Nice. And I don't think any other girl groups or anything have won since then. Oh. So it was like a big deal.
No, that was I'm sorry, just...
No. And that was in 2012.
Gotcha. One Direction was also X Factor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. One Direction was also X Factor.
Okay.
So the group found fame. We already went over that. Let me just go past that. Their first album was called DNA, and it had their smash songs, which was the first introduction to them, was called Wings. Do you remember that song? These wings were made to fly, and we don't let us down. These wings were made to fly. Oh my God, it's so good. Yeah. So, Wings, they had another song on there called Change Your Life. And there's a song on there called How You Doing, which I live for. So I definitely, if you like NewJeans definitely listen to. That's one of the first suggestions is Little Mix's How You Doing?
Okay.
Off their first album, DNA.
That's all I can think is DNA.
Right?
Yes, sorry.
I did. Their second album was called Salute, which came out the following year. It also included the singles Move and Little Me and Salute. There's a song on there that is the reason why I picked Little Mix, and it's on their second album, and it's called Mr. Loverboy.
Okay.
That song reminds me so much of NewJeans, and when you listen to it, you'll see why. I can't wait for you to hear that. I'm gonna send it to you because you gotta hear it.
Okay.
The group's third album, Get Weird, was released, which had the hit single Black Magic, which ended up skyrocketing them even further. So at this point, they were like the it girls. Like they literally had become like every award show they were performing on, they were like having budgets as if they were Taylor Swift and like all these really, really big artists.
That's awesome.
So they literally had been considered at one point the second coming of the Spice Girls. Like, that's how big they became. And then the group's fourth album, Glory Days, came out, and it had another song on there, which was called Shout Out to My Ex, which ended up winning them their first Brit Award for British Single of the Year. And then they had their follow-up album, LM5, which was named by the fans, which won them the British Artist Video of the Year at the 2019 Brits, as well as Song of the Year at the 2019 Global Awards. And then in 2020, during the pandemic, they were gearing up to release their last album as a full group. It was their sixth album called Confetti, which had the hit songs Breakup Song, Holiday, and then the last song that came off there is called Sweet Melody, and that song broke a bunch of records. But that song also, if you listen to Sweet Melody, you are instantly going to think of NewJeans. I live for that song. So if you listen to I keep wanting to say Fifth Harmony because you know what? They both are. It's funny because Fifth Harmony won the they were on the American version of X Factor.
Gotcha.
And then Little Mix won the UK version, which was the original version. So you got to listen to How You Doing. You got to listen to Mr. Loverboy, and you got to listen to Sweet Melody. And now moving forward, one of the members, Jessie, ended up leaving the group in 2020 to focus on her mental health, which I'm all for.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
So the group's last album was called Between Us, and it basically was like a greatest hits album. And in December of 2021, Little Mix announced via an emotional Instagram post that the girl group would be taking a break after finishing touring, where they each will pursue solo aspects, and then they have a plan to actually come back together.
Oh, cool.
So super duper dope.
Kind of like BTS, what they're doing right now.
Yeah, literally, exactly. And actually what ended up happening was Perry got pregnant and Leanne, I think it's Perry and Leanne got pregnant at the same time.
Aww.
And so they were promoting this greatest hits album and all this other stuff while they were pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And then one ended up having twins. The other had one baby. And I think she might be pregnant again right now. But it's super dope.
Taking
just
some
to
time, let them be a family. Have
and then
their personal time.
They're going to come back together when, the time is right.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
all that great stuff. So that is my Nectar of the Week. So make sure you listen to Mr. Loverboy. How You Doing? And Sweet Melody.
That's cool. That's really
by
cool.
Little Mix.
I know. I have to say, I know the name for sure. I don't know that I've heard. I mean, I probably have, but I don't know that I've heard any of their stuff. But that's really cool. I wasn't sure. I was super interested to see who you'd pick because I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a tough one. Because I almost picked a solo artist that they remind me of. But I was just like, I'm going to stick with the group because Little Mix really is that group. And you know why Little Mix, the thing about NewJeans is NewJeans, you could tell that they're influenced by R&B and pop music. And the same thing with Little Mix as well. But you also, like, especially seeing how they turn their up-tempo song into, like, a ballad, it just shows that versatility. And that's what Little Mix is. Little Mix is so versatile.
That's cool.
And they are just incredible. So
that's awesome.
Definitely went hand in hand.
That's cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my little corner.
Yeah, a little Nectar of the week. Yeah. I know. What should we do for our Say What this week?
You know what?
What's that?
I was thinking I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Since we're talking about a girl group, and we were kind of like, commenting on how dope it is to see, a group of girls at that age get along, I wanted to ask you.
Oh, jeez.
Have you ever experienced a situation, whether it was in a group for a birthday sleepover or a high school or college event or whatever, if there has actually we'll stick with that age group. So let's say like teens, like maybe 19 and under.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a story?
Oh, jeez.
It could be funny. It could be like crazy. It could be whatever you want. Like, what is the story that you have of your experience working within a group of girls, whether it was to accomplish something, whether you guys had plans together to do something? Like, what's an experience where you were just like, this went completely left? This was not what I had expected.
Oh, geez. I'm trying to think. There's definitely been like sleepovers that ended up being, we started playing like a Ouija board and everyone got all freaked out.
Wait! That's the story right there.
Yeah.
What happened?
Okay. So this, it wasn't just girls though.
Well, it's okay. It could be.
There were definitely girls there.
Yeah.
So this was college age. I didn't go to
we'll just say
college
teenage
right away.
angst. That's what we'll say.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely.
In the midst of teenage angst. Yeah.
Probably. So, we all decided we were going to play with a Ouija board, and it just started, like, freaking people out, and so the house that we lived in was haunted.
Oh,
I don't know what people believe, but I swear to you. So, the way the house was set up, so the front door opened, and it was kind of like this finished basement, and then there were stairs that went up, and there was a door at the top of the stairs, okay? Then you had kind of like the main living room, bedrooms and stuff, and then the kitchen was kind of in the back, and there was like a deck that did not have stairs going downstairs. So a couple little weird stories first. First of all, you would hear someone come in the door, walk up the stairs, the door would open, nobody else was home. That happened a lot.
Return to sender.
Other times you would hear someone like in the kitchen opening cabinets and stuff. He'd go in there, cabinets would be open. Yep. No one else was home.
Like, bitch, who here?
One time I was there alone. I was on the computer, which was kind of like here, and then there was like the dining room, and then there was the sliding glass doors for the deck. Again, deck, no stairs.
Sliding glass doors.
Out of the corner of my eye, someone standing on the deck. I flipped.
No!
I flipped out.
All the black in me, I just wanted to take a Martin Luther King church flag and just start waving it. Like,
so, like, as soon as I looked, no one was there, but no one else was home. I was freaking out. I wanted to run around, turn on all the lights, close the curtain. I'm calling people. I'm like, when are you coming?
Bring Jesus with you.
So anyway,
get him on the big
anyway, at this house, we decided we're gonna play with the Ouija board, and it just got messy. It got super messy, and I don't know what people believe, and I don't even know who. I believe, but I'm also a little skeptical. Do you know what I mean? So it has to be an experience I've had. It wasn't anything there were no demons or anything like that. But definitely some answers were given that were, it was a little crazy. It went a little crazy.
Did you find what you might have been looking for?
Yeah, no, it was so it turned bad. Do you know what I mean? It got mean.
Oh.
Yeah. It was not good. People were crying at the end, kind of thing.
What?
Yeah.
Well, can you tell us what type of questions you were asking?
There were things about just people's like relationships and like all sorts of stuff.
Were the people in the relationships in the room at the time?
Yes, they were.
Oh shit! Wait, so was it like, let's say Benny and Abby are dating, and Abby goes, Ouija board, has Ben been cheating on me?
Well, no, there wasn't any cheating.
Or like,
there was one where, so there was like a pregnancy scare and that got brought up and like all sorts of things. And oh yeah, it was.
So people's business was just being aired out.
No one asked about it.
That's what I'm saying though. It's still being aired out and like nobody even asked. That's terrifying because if you think about it.
Why did we do this thing in this house that we knew was haunted? I don't know.
But wait. These are people that don't even live in the house with you.
No, there were a couple people who lived in the house.
Was there?
But not everybody.
Right. So, but that's what I'm like, making me think like, how are you airing business out if they don't even live here? Like, did y'all bring somebody with you? Are these spirits watching you? Are they watching all of y'all? Girl, my ass would have been in the corner like this.
It was, I mean, there was definitely some drinking and I'm sure smoking of some substance or other before any of this took place, but yeah. Back in my
cannabis. I was going to say cannabis and marijuana at the same time. I was trying to say it as a one word.
Cannabijuana, yes.
Cannabijuana. Go on, Mara Jabis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my
So kids, if you have a haunted house, don't play with a Ouija board is the takeaway from this one.
Yeah, that's the whole takeaway from this whole episode. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a crazy night. Like, seriously, that was over 20 years ago, and I still remember it.
I can not.
Yeah.
That is terrifying.
I was talking about the time that we went to the graveyard to play, and there were ghosts everywhere. Like, I stayed in the car because I was super creeped out. So there's this graveyard, we're in Rhode Island. There's this graveyard down in West Greenwich, like, way out in the woods.
Yeah.
And if you drive past it, there are, like, these eyes that light up on one of the gravestones. And it's one of the graveyards, I think, no, it's not where Mercy Brown is buried, but it's, like, got history, because, there's all the vampire history in Nectar and stuff like that.
I didn't know that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, we would have to talk about this, but go ahead.
So we went there. This is probably after another night of being stupid and playing with the keyboard or something. So I stayed in the car because I was getting freaked out.
Yeah.
So I saw people, there's this person over there and there's that person over there. And then all of a sudden, wait, that person's also there. And that person is also there. And that person. And then people like start coming back to the car and I'm freaking out because I'm like, what if it's not the right people? So also, kids, don't go play in graveyards. Just don't do it. Be smarter than me. Yeah.
My. Listen. Anybody that's on a walking jump, that car would have been like shift, drive, like I would have been out. They would have been like, "What are you doing?" I would have been like, get somebody else to do it.
There would have been like some holy water like splash on them as they came through the door.
It burns. I was just making sure.
Talking
about it's like a parent telling their kids to wash their hands before they eat after being out at the park.
Yeah,
it's like get the holy water, spray yourself before you get in the car. I cannot.
Yeah.
That just wow.
Yep.
Well,
so welcome to Kay's horror story.
Yes, I'm here for it. That just made my whole day, and now I feel like I need to go read the scripture.
Right?
I'm stuck on the people were coming back to the car and I didn't know if it was the right people.
I really didn't. It was not great. Oh, God. The stupid things that you do when you're like 18 and have been drinking and doing stupid things. So just don't do stupid things, okay? Learn from your Auntie Kay.
Yes, please do. Please do. Auntie said no.
Right. Auntie says, please don't.
Right. Oh my God. Listen, can y'all send us some of your stories?
Please do.
Let us know some crazy... Eddie, listen, what was something crazy you did in your teenage years?
Yeah.
You know what I
early
mean?
20s.
Right. Thank God they didn't have cameras on us 24/7.
Thank goodness. It was a whole mess. It still is a whole mess.
It is.
But at least it's a less of a whole mess.
Yes.
It's a half a mess right now.
At least it's an experience. At least you live and you grow from it.
It's very true. You do.
Hopefully. They don't get ya.
Is it really me?
Now that whole spirit, you gonna wait halfway through our first season of this show. She's just gonna be like, it's like Scooby-Doo, you take a mask off. It really is not Kay. It's the 18th century witch that was left in West Greenwich, Rhode Island. She's like, I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you mangling kids.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, on that note, guys.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed our rambling stories for the last 2
Yes.
We really appreciate all of your support. We love you guys.
Love
Definitely
you
leave
guys
us
so
some
much.
suggestions. We will see you guys next time.
Bye.